I am not feeling good. My nose is so red. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a private app and install it to your development store, because I noticed that a lot of you guys are having issues installing private apps to a development store or to an online store. So in this video, I'm going to use that. I'm going to show you that how it's done. My grammar is so broken right now. I'm sick. I'm sorry. So here I am on my partner's account. I'm going to create a new app. So in your apps page, click create app and select custom app, because that's what we're going to use. And then for the name, you can just type whatever you want. I'll just call it Weekly Private App. And for the app URL, we're going to generate an ngrok secured URL. So go back to VS Code and open your terminal and run the following command. So ngrok http and then 80. I'm using XAMPP, so I'm using 80, the port 80. Press enter, and it should give you the following URL. So just copy the secured one. Copy that, go back to your browser, and paste the app URL, or paste the URL in the app URL field. And then we need to concatenate our folders. So it should be _Shopify, and then private folder. Because my folder is inside of Shopify folder, and then my project folder is called private. Just keep that in mind. I'm not going to explain that. All right, so let's just copy the app URL. Inside of the allowed redirection URLs, paste the URL and then add the token.php, and that is the token.php here. And next is the install.php, so install.php. And now we have the app URL set up and the following allowed redirection URLs. So we'll just pass in the token and the install. It's required. All right, so click create app. And there we go. We have the following private app. We have the API keys and the secret key. Here we have the get ready for production. You can generate an install link for a client. For just one store, you can generate a link. Or if you want, you can install this to a development store as much as possible. My grammar is so broken. I don't know why. I'm just tired. That's all. Don't worry about me. I'm good. All right, let's continue. So I'll just copy the API key, go back to VS Code, and let's open the install.php and paste that here in the API key variable, like so. And then for the URL, we need to replace the URL for our redirect URL. So let's just copy the secured URL once again. Copy that and replace the URL in the redirect URL variable, like so. So just make sure that it's the same. And for the folders, it's correct, Shopify. Instead of polarize, we need to change this to private. And then token.php, that's correct. And what else do we need to fix here? The scope, so we don't need to customize that. I think that's good. Now we can save this, and let's open token.php next. And next up is the API key. We need to replace that as well as the shared secret. Go back to your browser, copy the API key, and go back to your VS Code and paste the API key in the API key variable. Next up is the shared secret. Let's open our browser, copy the shared secret key, go back to your VS Code and replace the value for shared secret variable, like so. All right, so I think we're good now. We can just add here in the echo access token, we can just add a header function, and we're going to use the location, and we're going to concatenate the shop URL. So I think we have the params variable here. So params, and we can just use that. So here, just use params, and we're going to use the shop key. And that with semicolon, and make sure that you add in here HTTPS, because it's going to be a URL. Underneath of this header function, use exit. And that with semicolon, hit save. And then next up, we need to customize our index.php. Open that. And here we have the following function. So basically, as soon as we open the index.php, it will redirect us to the install.php. So let's just uncomment all of this. And then we are concatenating the shop URL, and it's getting in the get. And the access token, we can just leave this empty for now. So this is where it gets tricky, because as soon as you open your index.php, it will redirect you to the install.php file. So what you can do here, I already mentioned this a lot of times In index.php, you check if the store exists in your database. Again, you need to check in your index template file if your Shopify store exists in your database. If it does exist, don't redirect them to the install.php. If they don't exist, redirect them to install.php, and then in your install.php, you have the following redirect. So it will redirect to install URL, and then Shopify will redirect the merchant to the token.php that generates the access token. Here in the token.php, before you redirect them to the app, to the store, actually we need to concatenate the admin. So it should be admin and then apps. I think I'm correct. So apps page, let's open that. So admin apps. All right, I'm correct. So let's go back to VS Code. So before you redirect them to the apps page, you need to save your access token, your store in the database, and then use that data in your index.php to check if they exist or not. Like I said, if they exist, don't redirect them to install.php. If they don't, then redirect them to install.php. I can't stress this enough. So, all right, so I'll just save all of this, save the access token or token.php, and I think we're good now. So we can just go back to your browser and open the app setup, and we can either generate a link if you want to install it to a store, to an online store, public store, or if you want, you can use the test your app to install the Shopify app to a development store. That's what we're going to do. So let's just open this in a new tab, and then I'm going to select the example development store. So select example development store, and there you go. As you can see, it redirected me to the following auth. So you're about to install weekly private app, and transfer is disabled in this development store as blah, 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 blah. So you can finally install your private app to a development store. That's it. So click install app, and it should redirect me to the apps page. There you go. As you can see, now I am in my apps page. And I also have here my weekly private app, and it is a custom app or private app. And there you have it. Now we have installed our Shopify app or Shopify private app to our development store. If we open this, we don't have the access token because we redirected ourselves. The token.php redirected us to the following page. So we don't have our access token. That's where you are going to save your access token to a database. So instead of saying echo statement and then access token, you save that to a database. That's how you save access tokens. All right, so since I don't have my access token, I can't open my Shopify app or use API. So that's the problem with that. So anyway, I'm not going to cover that. I have a lot of videos talking about installing Shopify apps to a development store and saving that to a database. If you're interested, I'll put all of the links that you need in the description below. And that's it. Now we have installed our Shopify private app to a development store. Now, what if we want to install private app to an actual Shopify store? So let's do that. Let's open our app page or app setup or app dashboard, whatever you call that. And here in the get ready for production, we can generate a link. So click that, click generate link, and it should redirect us or it should lead us to the following page. So we need to choose a client store. So you can install this to only one store. So as you can see, custom apps can only be installed on a single store without Shopify review. So that's the difference between private apps or custom apps and public apps. Public apps, you need Shopify to review your Shopify apps, whereas custom apps, you don't need Shopify to review your Shopify apps. There you go. So here we can just apply a URL or a Shopify store. So I'll just create a Shopify store because I think I don't have a backup or another custom Shopify store that I can use for this video. So I'll just create a new one. So I'll just enter my email address here. I'll just use 14-day trial. So weeklyhow.com, start free trial. All right, so I have my Shopify store. What I can do next is to copy my Shopify store URL. So I'll just copy weekly development store.myshopify.com. And I'll just go back to the install page or choose your client store. And here I can just paste the domain or the My Shopify domain like so. So weekly development store.myshopify.com. And my store is not a development store, so it should work. So here I'll just click generate link, and it will ask you if your store URL is correct. So just double check that and then click generate link. And there we go. As you can see, our install link is ready to be used. It's either you copy your link here or here in the merchant install link. So as you can see, your app can only be installed on weeklydevelopmentstore.myshopify.com. That's where you can only install your Shopify private apps. So just click the copy install link, or just copy to clipboard and then open in the new tab and just paste the install link. So this is a very long URL. You don't need to change anything in there. But as you can see, it says that auth install custom app and then the client ID. So that's how you install a custom app or private app to a store. So just press enter. And there you go. As you can see, now I can install my Shopify private app or custom app to an online store. So as you can see, I'm using trial. So that means I'm using an online store. So let's just try and click install app. And there we go. Now I have installed my private app. And there you have it, guys. That's how you create a custom app using PHP and install it to a development store and online store. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I try my best to give you guys examples how to create private apps and public apps. I have a lot of videos on that. If you want, you can subscribe and check my videos below. In the description, I'll put all the links that you need to create a Shopify app. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want Shopify Shopify app development related videos. And you can also check out my courses online. I'll put the link in the video description. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. I'm sick.